This week's video is very different from my normal format. I'm going to talk about why body cameras should mute, or more specifically, I'm going to re-show my prior video on this topic. But I want to add this scenario to the video that you're about to see. If you're an officer who receives an order from a supervisor that's lawful but doesn't seem like a good idea, would you question that order on body camera? Now, I'm not talking about an illegal order. I'm just talking about the scenario when you think, boss, I don't know if this tactic that you're proposing makes sense. I don't know if we should enter the house right now. I don't know if we should make this approach. Those conversations happen all the time in police work and in other jobs. But forcing officers to only be able to speak to their supervisors on body camera with the audio on will reduce those cautionary conversations. Before departments disable the mute functions, I hope that they carefully consider this scenario, as well as the other scenarios outlined in the next video. Let me know what you think in the comments. And even if you remember this video, please watch it again and have candid conversations with your department's leaders if they intend to stifle conversations, as not allowing officers to mute body cameras can make an already dangerous job even more difficult. Today's topic is why body cameras should have a mute function. This video is a little different than most of my videos, as I'll be discussing a controversial topic and the argument presented is my own, not necessarily that of the agencies that I work for and with. I'm Steve Serbalik. I'm a panel attorney with ASCOPS in Arizona. There's little doubt that body cameras can have a significant impact on the officers who wear them. And I'll be the first to admit that body camera footage is, more often than not, a helpful tool for police officers who are doing their best to do their jobs well. But like any tool, if it's not used properly, there can be significant negative results. This brings me to the trend of departments disabling the mute function on body cameras. But before I talk about the reasons why disabling the mute button is bad, I'll give a little background. All major body camera companies make their cameras physically able to continue to record video with the sound muted. But even though this function physically exists on body cameras, the body camera companies also offer departments the ability to disable the mute function, meaning that the cameras are left with the option of either recording video and audio together or being switched off completely. For departments that allow the use of the mute function, its purpose is to allow officers on a scene to have conversations unrelated to the evidence gathering process without being recorded. The reason that the officer would want to continue recording, but muted, is to make sure that if the situation changes in a split second, for example, if the suspect becomes combative while the officer is talking to a supervisor, the suspect's actions would be visually recorded. The problem with the mute function is that officers sometimes forget to unmute their cameras, making it possible that relevant conversations with suspects or witnesses are not audio recorded. This is why some departments choose to disable the mute function. They want to limit the number of instances of lost audio. But when it comes to disabling the mute function, the gain of capturing this audio is not worth the loss. Specifically, consider this. As a lawyer who regularly represents police officers, a large part of every workday for me is spent answering questions. Virtually all of these question and answer conversations are confidential and are based upon trust. The officer or supervisor talking with me trusts me and knows that he or she can ask questions candidly without worrying about judgment. And they know that what they say won't be used against them. Those of you who regularly watch my videos know that I encourage officers to ask questions, to ask for help. And when people ask me for help, I do my best to answer to help them puzzle through whatever situation that they face. But here's the problem. If my clients and coworkers knew that our conversations were recorded and could be reviewed by their supervisors, internal investigators, or even criminal suspects, at some point later on, I'd receive less questions. The people I work to help every day would be reluctant to go on record asking for help. They might not want to look stupid. They might not want to be second guessed. or they might feel uncomfortable thinking out loud and working out a problem in real time. After all, when we know we're being recorded, especially if the conversation could be made public, we will ask and say a lot less. And here in Arizona, those conversations between officers and supervisors on body cameras can't be redacted under public records laws. Redactions in Arizona are restricted to specifically designated categories, and asking your boss or coworker for their thoughts on a crime scene would not qualify. This means when departments disable the mute functions on their cameras, they are, maybe unintentionally, discouraging officers from problem solving with each other and with their supervisors. So at a minimum, if departments are going to disable the mute function on cameras, I highly recommend that the body camera policy be written in a way to allow the camera to be turned off when officers speak with each other or with supervisors. Otherwise, officers will be far less likely to ask for help, and bad decisions will be more likely to occur. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or insights into this issue, please feel free to leave them below. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and consider subscribing as well for more law enforcement lessons. Videos are published every Sunday. Thanks for watching. I'm Steve Serbalik. Stay safe out there.